Research and data has shown that punitive discipline and punishments is really very ineffective to changing behavior. So over the last 10 or 20 years or so, school divisions have been trying to come up with more positive programs so that kids build self-esteem. One of those programs is known as PBIS, which stands for Positive Behavioral Interventions and Supports. And that's where this is coming from. Douglas is, the framework for the discipline at Douglas comes through the PBIS program. And the whole ambassador program is part of that program. So I'm going to actually turn this over to Mr. Mello and to Mrs. Mello, if she's choosing to speak, to kind of explain where this ambassador idea came from and the goal of the program and whatnot. Mr. Mello?
Welcome, everybody. Students, congratulations again. Parents and families, thank you for being here. Colleagues, likewise. I wanted to start by telling a story about a kid who ended up here. And they're not sitting in front of us, so don't stress. It's not you. Okay? But he was a local kid who ended up here. He had a rough life. He was raised by his mom. He was raised by his mom until she died at the age of 10. His mother was black, his father was white, so he was mixed race. Never really felt like he fit in either world. He was sent to live with another family, as sometimes kids are. Some of you may have had that experience, and they mistreated him. At 12, he couldn't read. At 14, he saw a friend killed for stealing food. He went on to get in fights and admittedly described himself as a thief. And he ended up here. You all walked right past him when you came in. His name is Frederick Douglass. He's the person this school is named after. He described himself as a thief. He said, "I stole myself. I stole myself from the person who owned me. I ran away. He was a slave. He lived the life of a slave." Frederick Douglass became the most famous abolitionist of our time, of his time, prior to the Civil War. He taught himself to read. A kind lady taught him the alphabet, and he taught himself to read from that. Frederick Douglass succeeded not because of all of the incredible supports that his family and his friends offered. He succeeded despite obstacles and no support. And I think that's awesome. I think that's a powerful thing to see, and it reminds me of some of you as I look at you. Hopefully you've been blessed with wonderful families that support you. But still, many of you who are blessed that way have other challenges you've had to overcome. I know the interview committee for this group was moved to tears at times by the stories that you shared with them. Stories of courage and endurance. So the fact that you're sitting here today, despite the lack of supports or the challenges that you may have experienced in life, I believe it makes your accomplishments even more impressive. What we're working hard to do here in this ambassador program is one step, is to add those supports, to add the things that you all need to continue to realize your potential. Most of you, and when I was your age, if you asked me what my plans were, I'd tell you what I was going to have for lunch. My long-term plans, I'd tell you what I was going to have for dinner. I didn't have them. Most of you don't realize the potential you have yet. We want to put in place supports that will help you do that. To the parents and families in the audience, one of the characteristics of working at Douglas has long been trying to reach out to families and not being able to. The team here of people who is coming together to try to put these supports in place is our PBIS team. If you as a family member would be willing to meet with us once a month to talk about how we can recognize, how we can challenge, what we can provide the kids here, we would love afterwards for you to approach us and say, I would be happy to come up one time a month so that I can be part of your team to help the kids. Okay. So there's a quote also you walked past in the hall that Frederick Douglass stated, that it's easier to build up strong children than to repair broken men, broken adults. I'm very proud of you guys for being such strong young people. And as you've heard me say before, this is not an honor society that you're identified for based on your grade point average. For families, the Ambassador Program was created because we saw such incredible young people walking our halls, and we wanted to find a way not just to hold them up, but to hold them up for the community as well. This is a service organization. Every time we meet, we're going to try to add something to you to make you better capable to serve Douglas and the community. Okay. So when we meet, it will be a meeting around public speaking, interview skills, community outreach, things like that. We've already started with our visits to local hosts and such. So congratulations for being our inaugural inductees into the Ambassador Program. And I look forward, families, I look forward to working with you if you're able to put other supports in place that will keep these kids challenged and motivated. Thank you again. Good job.
Donna.
Oh. I had like 2 jobs. I got one of them done. That's my wife back there behind the camera. She's like 50%, that's about right. One of the powers in our community, and one of the first people we said, okay, we have these young people together, they've got such great potential to serve. We thought to ourselves, well, let's find the best servant in the entire community that we know. And that's Miss Donna from Mobile Hope, and we asked her if she would come and give some words of encouragement to our class of inductees. So, Ms. Donna.
First, I'm going to take a picture. Is that okay? Yeah. Because this is your inaugural Ambassador Program. So first, I'm honored to be here and that you guys thought of me. And to include me in this. And I think that each and every one of you need to remember that somebody in this school saw something in you that made you stand out from everybody else in this school. So with that comes a lot of responsibility. It requires a lot of trust, and you may sometimes sit back and think, well, this is stupid, or it's a way to get out of class, or whatever. It's not. This is huge. This can go on job applications, it can go on resumes, college applications, anything that you guys want to do. You guys are leaders of this school. You guys are the ones who are going to set the tone for the next kids who are coming in, because you don't know what their situation is, you don't know what barriers they're overcoming. For a lot of you, you guys have come over to Mobile Hope, lifted bags, sorted boxes, did a whole lot of stuff, which we appreciate, and we hope you guys come back. but you know the chaos that's over at Mobile Hope. We have a lot of kids who come through with harder lives than I can even imagine. And every day they still try to show up to school, they still put a smile on their face, and they try to fit in with everybody else. But you guys have been selected, and that is huge, and I don't want you to forget about that. Because, I mean, you stand out amongst your peers, and that's something that you need to recognize, you need to embrace, because life is not easy. Everybody has haters, right? Haters are gonna hate no matter what you do. I have haters, everybody in this room has haters. So you just have to kind of accept that and not let them decide your fate. Don't prove them right with the judgments and the stereotypes that they expect to see from you guys. Don't allow them to do that. So my thought to you guys is be the best ambassadors that you guys can be, because the new kids who are coming in are scared to death. They're like, what the hell? So you need to recognize that. Remember when you guys came in, you may not have been like, oh my God, this is gonna be great. This is gonna be a lot of fun. It's not, it's scary. So recognize that, take some of them under your wing, show them what Douglas is all about. All these people at Douglas, this is my favorite school. So they care about you guys. They go above and beyond to be your voice in the community, especially Mary Ann, Miss Turner, sorry, your principal. I mean, she does a great job advocating for you guys. Miss Lowe, Mr. Mello, us, everybody in this community loves Douglas. Those that walk through the doors of Douglas love Douglas. Those that don't and have judgment, you guys know what judgment's all about, right? I hate it. And advocate, bitch, I know you guys have all heard that word before, but I mean, that's what we've been called. I don't care, embrace it. Embrace who you guys are, who you are as an individual, who you are to your friends, to your peers, to your family, but make a difference in this community. Make a difference in school. And you'll look back in 20 years, because right now this is just a blip in your life. You're gonna be an adult a heck of a lot longer than you're a kid. So look back at this and think, oh my God, I was selected. This is huge, and take advantage of that. Make sense? Yeah? So am I gonna see every one of you at Mobile Hope again? Yeah? And then you guys can be ambassadors to a lot of our kids. I mean, we get kids every day sleeping under bridges. We get kids every day in worse situations than you guys have probably experienced. Maybe not, maybe, I don't know, but I'm telling you, there's a lot of kids who truly appreciate you guys as their peers, reaching out to them and helping them and not judging them and holding their hand through all of the difficulties that they have to face. That's huge. And for them to know that you guys care and vice versa, for them to care about you is also, I mean, it's significant. We have kids who come in to Mobile Hope. They would not have been friends at school, ever. Never would have talked to each other at school. But at Mobile Hope, they have each other's backs, they talk, they keep in touch, they help each other, and that's what you guys are gonna do for this school. Make sense? Yeah? Smiles on your faces, you're excited about this, right? Yeah? Do you have any questions or concerns or anxieties? No? So you're prepared for this huge role?
Yes.
Yeah? Good. Well, if you need anything, you know I'm there for each and every one of you. So is everybody in this room, okay? I'm very proud of you. And for those that don't know, I mean, that know, Rhonda can say this. I'm very technologically disadvantaged. I didn't even know what a selfie was until about last year. But I want to see, I have to turn the camera around. Okay, can you guys scooch in so I can,
Come on,
come on.
Get in there. Get in there.
Okay, just get up and move.
Squeeze in, squeeze in, squeeze in.
There you go.
Who's the tallest that can do this?
Go behind Freddie. Oscar.
Are you the tallest? I am too. So what the heck? How do I do it? Can you do it? Can I? Okay, I'll do half. What? What do I do? That's good, right?
Hi, everybody. So I'm Mrs. Woodburn. I'm a school counselor here for social worker here.
We're so proud and excited to introduce this group, the Douglas School Ambassadors for 2019, and I want you guys to know that I think each and every one of you have inspired us every day. All right, ready to get started? So, starting off with Nicholas Gonzalez. Ms. Hetherington nominated Nick because he's a natural-born leader. He inspires his peers, and his strength and sparkling sense of humor helps all of us. Lisette Guzman. Okay, Lisette Guzman is absent today, but I'm going to go ahead and read her piece. Ms. Plant said that Lisette is focused on her future goals. She's a senior, by the way, going to Nova. She's quiet, and she's a true friend to her classmates.
All right, Amin Gonikai. Amin is nominated by Mr. Mello. He wrote, Amin is a great student who always tries his best. He is one of the hardest workers at school, but in spite of the intensity, he is also like bottled sunshine. No matter the situation, his smile and positive attitude make things better for all around him.
So next is Nicholas Kornilov. Nick was nominated by Mr. Kitchen, who's an English teacher here. Mr. Kitchen said Nick is a deep thinker who never takes a shortcut. If an assignment is too easy, he adds what he believes will make the assignment more challenging. If he has not found something personally meaningful, he will keep working to organize his own conclusions.
Garcia. Was also nominated by Mr. Mello. Jesus has a strong sense of right and wrong, probably developed from years of seeing injustice in his native Venezuela. He has mastered a second language and excelled academically in that language.
Next we have Lindsay Lapose. Lindsay was nominated by Ms. Plant, her science teacher. Ms. Plant said Lindsay has shown great maturity in making good decisions to stay focused on her classwork. She's proactive and kind-hearted.
We have next Bryce Pupusi. Mr. Mello nominated Bryce. He says Bryce is 6,000 miles removed from his native Cameroon and immersed in a different language and culture. But despite those obstacles, he has become one of the most popular and respected students at Douglas because of his kind attitude and wonderful sense of humor.
Okay, next we have Mackenzie Quinn. She is absent today, but Ms. Meyer-Mello nominated her and said, Mackenzie's a sweet and caring person. She's very thoughtful and considerate of the people around her and the environment, and strives every day to make the world a little better.
Justin Friends. Justin was nominated actually by Miss Woodward. I feel like you should read this. He is a good student who is very curious and respectful. Justin is incredibly kind and caring. He is a quiet leader whose actions inspire others.
Next is Brian Rivera. Brian was nominated by his English teacher, Ms. Hetherington. Ms. Hetherington said, Brian is incredibly mature and kind. His ability to make friendships will be important in creating a sense of family for the ambassador group.
We have Nick Amari. Nick was nominated by Mary Wysocki. She writes, he is always happy and willing to help, and he has a lot of advice for younger students. He is a natural leader and supports his peers.
Okay, next we have Zoe Rivera. Zoe was nominated by both Ms. Miss Jackson and Miss Osmond, and they said Zoe is always so friendly and supportive of her classmates. She's always willing to volunteer to get a job done. And she's a wonderful young woman who's dependable, reliable. She initiates things, and she has a great smile and is friendly and polite and willing to help peers and staff.
We have Einar Bustillo. Einar, you were nominated by Miss Meyer Mello. She says Einar is very socially conscious. Helping others and being of service is second nature to him. Einar is very respectful and kind to the people around him.
Next, we have Angel Palomino. So Angel is nominated by Miss Meyer Mello, and Miss Meyer Mello said Angel is very dependable, reliable, self-motivated. He's a very gentle person, talented, respected, and a dedicated soccer player.
Oscar Alvarez. Oscar was nominated by Miss Hetherington. She says, Oscar's outward personality and kind spirit. He always volunteers to help others, and you have a cheerful and positive attitude.
And one more student who's absent today, Yaelin Castillo. Yaelin was nominated by Miss Meyer Mello, who said she's a young lady who's wise beyond her years. She's seen some difficult times, but she still dreams of seeing the world. And she's resilient, and she has a vibrant attitude that's infectious, and she'll make whatever group she's part of much better.
Freddie Allen. Freddie was nominated by Miss Bullock. She says, I have observed this young man over the course of a year and a half strive to better himself. Freddie continuously works hard, even when assignments are difficult for him. We have one more young lady that's not here, Angela Quintanilla. She was nominated by Miss Hetherington. She says her strong ability to lead and compassionate. Angela has high expectations for herself, even when others around her have not. She hopes to give back by becoming a nurse.
Oath time.
In a moment, we'll hear from Ms. Plant, who headed up the interview panel. But one of the things I heard back from the interview panel was they were very impressed by one of the students. I'm going to single out Einar here. Einar, after the questions turned to the group, they said, do you have any questions? And he said, how can I make this group a better thing? Or something to that effect. And so we kind of picked up on that. And so you'll see the signs above them. We asked them, Einar's question, how are you going to make this a better group? Think about a skill that you have that you bring to this group. And I'm pretty sure resilience is something all of them could put. But it's interesting as you look at our group for this year, some of the skills they feel they're going to bring to the group. At this time, I want you to repeat after me as I recite the oath, and we'll complete our oath. I will pause in the appropriate spots and let you repeat the part I have read. On my honor.
On my honor.
I will strive to show.
I will strive to show.
Through words and actions.
Through words and actions.
That I value education.
That I value education.
And service to others.
And service to others.
I will lead by example.
I will lead by example.
I will continue to respect.
I will continue to respect
Both my teachers and peers.
both my teachers and peers.
I will honor those around me.
I will honor those around me.
Who guide me towards empowering my future.
Who God enjoys the power of my future,
and I will stay committed
and I will stay committed
to making my school
to making my school
and my community
and my community
a better place.
a better place.
Okay, congratulations to our inductees. I'm going to ask you to stay up here and Ms. Plant give some closing remarks and
Congratulations, guys. We want to thank all the students for their efforts and the faculty. And I know parents, you took time off from your busy schedule to come, so we really appreciate that. And you've got a great group of kids. Yay. So a lot of times I was involved with all the interviews. And when we asked a lot of the kids, well, what's one of your strengths? What do you feel you're good at? And there was a lot of, blank looks, fear. So, and we started asking, well, how would your friends describe you? And then they started talking and they realized, hey, wait a minute, maybe I do have more strengths than what I realized. So we really want to embrace that. Let's see, academically, we were working with these kids. Some of these kids were actually going to start some tutoring for some of the kids. Some of the kids have already asked how they can be involved with different community activities. They were very inspired by our trip to Mobile Hope. So we're just trying to figure out what each individual student's strengths and weaknesses are. We want to tap in because not everybody may have certain skills with talking to people, but maybe they have some other skills and talents that they can bring and provide community service. What else? Anything else that I'm missing? My group? No? Okay. All right, well, we want to thank you. We're going to start planning some more activities with the students. We're typically meeting at lunch. We're going to take a look at some scheduling options. Maybe thanking all of your work block teachers for letting you out of class for this would be nice, okay? So we just want to thank you and welcome you. If you have any suggestions for our programs, any recommendations, just please let us know. And we have some refreshments, and we want to thank Donna and our other speakers and faculty for helping with the program. Thank you for coming.
Photo op, tallest in the back, shorter in the front, so start blending together. Come on. Come on, so parents can get photos and school can get photos. All right. Okay, guys over here, come on in. Scoot in. 2 rows, people, 2 rows. Y'all are funny. 2 rows. Keep coming. Y'all are distracted. Bring it in. Bring it in. Okay, people should be able to see heads in between. Mr. Mello and Ms. Mayor Mello, why don't you all get up on either side?
let's get all
Let's
the
get
people in the
all the
PBIS.
All the PBIS team up front.
While you're looking at this, imagine if their embroidered polo shirts had come in on time, how good they would look. They do each have a nice polo coming.
You on the end need to scooch. Yeah.
This happens to you guys all the time, doesn't it?
Okay, so who's gonna be tweeting this out? Somebody's gotta be tweeting this out. Parents, if you'd like to have individuals with your students, please do so.